I think it's right to say that getting picked for the Lions changed my life. There's no two ways about that. As a young lad with aspirations in the game, to reach the pinnacle of the game in representative rugby was just so special, and it definitely did change my life.
Murray to Jamie Roberts. Oh, Roberts is going through now. It's done. It's dusted. Archive it. History made.
I just felt I had a good story to tell. I guess it's a career that is probably a little bit different than your archetypal professional rugby career. I've had the amazing opportunity to travel with the game, play across different leagues. Obviously, the privilege of playing for Wales and the British Lions and the Barbarians as representative teams, but also just being a student, and also kind of having an academic life alongside my playing career. I guess part of the book as well is to hopefully help inspire the next generation of young rugby players, or I guess students with an interest in sport, and not just rugby players, I guess people across all professional sport who want to have dual career paths. I've been fortunate to play professional rugby now for near enough 16 years, but also be a student for about 14 or 15 of those. So hopefully it helps inspire and sends a message to, as I said, students with an interest in doing well in sport, and young sports people as well, that they don't have to be independent. You can merge both careers and certainly do both. So when I think about the book, one, it's for my boy. I dedicate it to my 8-month-old son. So hopefully one day he gets an idea of what his dad did in the game. But also, hopefully to inspire the next generation, but to tell my story. I got my shot with Cardiff with the Blues in, I think, in 2007. Warren picked me to have my debut for Wales in 2008, and within a year of playing inside centre, I just remember the announcement day. I think it was 21st of April 2009. I remember it clear as day, and that day, it's coming. That's announcement day, and I've been playing all right for club. I just remember that morning, and I was so nervous. Because your name's chucked about in the press, etc., and you're aware of all that. All your mates are texting you. I just remember going down with my best mate down to Penarth Pier near Cardiff, and just sitting there listening on the radio, because you find out at the same time as the public do with the Lions, and I love that. I love that kind of surprise element to it, and unveiling the team. And I guess I got my jersey. I went straight back to my room and just sat with it for a few minutes, kind of just letting it all sink in, and just a very, very, very special moment. You kind of come to appreciate that you're about to go and represent everyone who plays your position in the country, really. So, in England, Wales, Ireland and Scotland, you're at the pinnacle. For that one game, you are representing everyone who plays your position across the country, the hundreds of clubs and school teams and what have you. And it's a huge, huge privilege, but also a huge amount of pressure. It's quite a unique feeling. You learn more that the game is about relationships. It's not about certain plays or how many turnovers you made on a weekend or how many line breaks you make. And you come to learn that those are the things you remember. You remember the nights out. You remember your relationships with people that last a lifetime. And certainly those relationships you make on a Lions tour do. And you also come to learn that regardless of how well you play on a weekend, you have more chance of winning if you're close to your mate next to you, and you get to know your mate next to you. And the Lions for me kind of defined that, and this challenge of getting a group of lads together in a very short space of time to at the time take on the world champions in South Africa. There was no bigger challenge at the time, and to get a group of lads to bond that tightly quickly was just immense. And a lot of the book is around this kind of moral dilemma I was faced with for that last test, and very, very kind of challenging few weeks, tearing my hamstring in that Waratahs game before the first test. Very difficult place to be in as a player, because you've got a coach backing you. He's picked you to play. I remember Warren came up to me in Noosa where we were training on the Thursday. It didn't, it was a man of few words, Warren, but he just came up to me and said, "Right, you're going to be fit?" And I was like, "Yeah." I kind of just walked off when I was in actual pain in my hamstring. My hamstring was hurting. Well, I remember waking up morning of the game and thinking, "Geez, how am I going to play a test match like today?" In quite a lot of pain in my hamstring. Been picked to play, so on one hand, it's the biggest game of your career. Your coach is backing you to play. He's picked you. It's a Lions test deciding match in Sydney. And on the other hand, I'm in quite a lot of pain in my hamstring. Do I pull out? Do I play on? If I come off after 5 minutes, that's the most selfish decision ever. And it was, I really struggled. I stirred over it for 24 hours, 48 hours. And the more, as I said, the morning of the game, in quite a lot of pain. I remember going to see Prav, and I was just like, look, mate, what is the strongest anti-inflammatory painkillers you can give me? So after giving me that and adrenaline, fortunately the hamstring held up, and I was part of a decisive, Lions winning side in Sydney, and I thought it was quite good to give an insight to the reader around that. You're toying with the demons in your head around whether to play or not. When I reflect, I feel hugely grateful to have worn the Test jersey on 2 tours.